Want to know a crazier story?
What's that?
Oh, dude, I picked the dude up from Germany at North Springs. Did not have a shuttle scheduled. It's just I just happened to be down there picking up some other people. He asked me if I was a shuttle driver. I was like, yeah. And he goes, can you take me? And I was like, yeah, I can take you to Amaclola. Do you have another ride? He was like, no. I was like, all right, well, come on. And then I'm trying to tell this dude, hey, you need anything, you text me. Let me know what I can do. He got all the way to Neal Gap, went off trail. Guess where he went? He went past North Springs all the way down into Atlanta.
Oh, really, dude?
Wow. So you go figure that one out.
Yeah.
You know, why you went that far off the trail when literally you could have gone, like you were saying, Blairsville.
Yeah.
And he called me to pick him back up.
So, dude, wait a minute. He got a ride back down that way, bro, to spend a day.
He called an Uber that just happened to be dropping somebody off at.
Insane.
And he was like, well, no Uber will go up there. I was like, well, you got lucky that you got an Uber out of there.
Yeah, right.
There's no Ubers up here. By the way, there's no Ubers in Georgia.
None. Well, no,
North Georgia.
North Georgia. There's no Ubers up here. Like,
so anybody thinking they're going to use the Uber app up here to
they get on what they do, bro.
It's not happening, dude.
What I see.
If you do catch one, you got lucky. I'll say that.
What I see going on, bro, a lot of the times online, dude, people will get online. They'll be like, oh, well, how do I get a shuttle up in North Georgia from whatever gap, right? And so they'll post this on Facebook in an AT room. And then someone will chime in and say, oh, I just Ubered at Neal Gap and it says this price. Well, try sitting up there. Actually, don't Uber from California or Colorado. Right. Go up to Neal Gap and sit there with your app and try to Uber something. It will say a price.
Well, think about
that. But will anyone pick you up?
Have y'all experienced the people that wanted to go to Springer and called an Uber and the Uber driver won't take them up that road?
Yes, bro, it's funny that you say that because I said it on another video.
I'm just saying.
I tell people, man, I'm like, dude, you'll get picked up at the beginning of the year. I'm so glad you said that, bro, because I tell people this and they're almost like they don't believe me.
I've literally driven to pick people up.
They'll call me.
They won't go up the gravel road.
That's right. Because these cats, man, you have to think about it this way. The Uber driver is making about 30 to 40% of that ride. If I see people saying it's like $100 from the airport to Springer, these people don't realize, the drivers don't realize where they're going until 100%. It's too late. 100%. And so what happens is at the beginning of the year, people get picked up, but after like 6, 7 people, no one gets picked up anymore because no one wants to go to Springer, man. It's not worth it. They're making 30 or 40 bucks to drive 6 hours of their day, bro, up and back.
That road is brutal, too.
Yeah, bro, it beats your car up. And most cats are driving with low-profile tires, low-profile cars like today's cars. You don't want to bring that stuff up in there, man. It'll kill your cars.
I mean, you go up it once, but you ain't going to do it twice.
Yeah, dude. And so I'm so glad you said that, man, because it's the truth, man. There's no Uber here, man. And, like, people keep saying that Uber will take you there, but, bro, they may get you up there, the unknowing ones, bro, but because I've had plenty of calls, dude. Hey, man, will you come pick them up at Pleasant Hill Church? I don't want to drive up there.
100%.
Absolutely not, man. Drive up there, bro. You took the ride. So, actually, Tim, this dude named Tim, bro, years ago, man, Mary and I were up at up at Springer Mountain. We're sitting there in the parking lot, and I see this car pull in, bro, and he's got a car full, man. And a hiker gets out, and he runs up to the sign in the parking lot to see if it was Springer parking, man. And I'm like, hey, man, what are you looking for? And he's like, Springer parking. And I said, this is it, bro. This is it. Well, and I'm like, why doesn't that guy know? And he's like, because he's an Uber driver. Well, Tim comes over I talked to him. He's from Helen. And so he was just an Uber driver, man, and he was bringing people up there. But eventually, dude, he tried to start a shuttle business. But, dude, so he got in an accident or something. And then he was calling me, he had a Camry, bro. And he's at the end of Pleasant Hill. He's like, hey, man. He's like, will you come down here and pick this guy up and bring him up to Spring? And I'm like, absolutely not, man. I said, I just don't have time for it. But not only that, bro, I'm not going to do it for $30 or whatever, bro. Yeah. No, man. If I drive down there, even if I start from here at the shop, bro, it is an hour and 10 minutes.
And that's the other thing that I don't think anybody understands. If you're to get a ride from Amaclola up to Springer, we're all driving over an hour away to get you.
That's right, bro. A plus.
You are not in an area that is close unless you live in Dahlonega, which I don't know any of us up here that live in Dahlonega. I'm sure there may be one or two, but I don't know of anybody off the top of my head. I mean, it's an hour from my house.
That's right, bro. It is, dude. And so
I'm pretty close to Dahlonega, but it's still an hour. I mean, you're driving on these roads. It's not like you can't drive fast up here.
That's a good. So the thing is, man, is a lot of people will look on the GPS and see like 23 miles and whatever, dude. And they're like, it's only 20 miles. And it's like, that 20 miles takes an hour and a half, 8 miles of it's dirt road, 16 miles of it's twisting, turning, 15 mile per hour corners.
It's 100%.
Yeah, dude.
It's it's just a whole.
It's not a highway, dude. We're not driving down the highway.
Not on the interstate.
It's like, dude, it's just how it is, and that's why we have to charge what we charge. It costs.
And here's the other thing: if you schedule one of us to pick you up, please be ready to go.
Yeah, dude, don't be
like. I mean, we all have a schedule to keep, and if you're 5-10 minutes late, or if you're on time and it takes you 15 minutes to get in my car, I'm now 15 minutes late for the next person.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we all probably
windows and stuff.
Put a little fudge time in our times to try to take care of people and not to be late. But if you're not on time, I'm late all day long.
Right. And
that first shuttle is the one. If it does not go off right, then we're all in. Your whole day is in trouble.
Mm-hmm. And not just your day, not just the driver's day. Everyone that's standing in line after is now getting screwed. So basically, or going to be late to be picked up and late for their hike. And some people are out here on their weekend or their 2-day vacation or something, and they've got a certain amount of time to hike from point A to B. And so when we're 2 hours late because of the first person, man, that dude now is 2 hours behind. So some of us, like Mary and I, we're able to, if there's a mess up and someone's late, we can send another driver or something, or like what Brett and I do together.
Finagle,
right, I'll call Brett up and say, Brett, I'm in big trouble. There's a guy that's like, blah, blah, blah. Can you pick him up? And Brett will be like, yeah, or no.
I mean, we all work together.
We do.
It's not like
we do, man.
It's not like we're competitors.
No.
I don't view it that way. I mean, I'm sure there's some people that do. But I've never viewed it that way. I've always viewed like we're all up here trying to take care of you guys that are hiking. And, sometimes we screw up too. I'm not saying that I'm perfect. And I'm going to make sure you're taken care of. Mm-hmm. And the worst thing is, I screwed up one day and wasn't where I was supposed to be because I didn't put it on my schedule. I put it for the wrong day on my schedule, I should say. And so they're like, well, I was like, well, hike where you're at, and I will pick you up at the end of your hike, and you've got a free ride.
Yeah, basically.
Because I'm screwing you over. And
that's right.
And we all feel horrible when that happens. And it very rarely happens, but it can happen.
It can happen. There's days, dude, that
I mean, we're all human, screwed. I guess is what I'm saying. And the few times that I've made a mistake, I feel worse than anything.
Well, dude,
horrible. I've screwed your day up, or at least gave you stress and anxiety where you didn't need it in your life.
And that's another thing, man. Speaking, saying that, dude, like, I don't want to put people down or anything, man, but like there are people that come out here every single year that act like they're a businessman, and they'll come out here and make a card, get online, sit in the rooms, and just say they're a shuttle driver. They through hiked the year
March,
before,
April,
blah,
May.
blah. Yeah, and they'll come out here, man, and they will actually
camp out at a gap,
and they don't understand actually how important it is to be on time and to understand. There's 3 terminals at Atlanta Air. If a person doesn't understand that Delta is like South Terminal, or that these people are flying in from out of country, so 100%. They're going, you know what I mean? You got domestic and international. If you don't understand all that, that can actually screw a driver's day up because they don't know they got to go over here.
Or customs holds up an international person.
Yeah, you got to give 2 hours on the international.
Or I show up to pick you up at North Springs, and you expect me to take you to the grocery store to get a bunch of food that we never talked about.
That's right. And so that's another thing. When you talk to your shuttle driver or the business, make sure that you tell them exactly what you need from them,
100%.
because we do not have time to stop, man. We don't want to be dickheads. Trust us, dude. We
100%.
feel like shit,
If
man.
I could do it, I'm gonna do it.
That's right, dude.
But if I can't do it,
you can't do it. You're gonna make someone else late.
Yeah. And I didn't tell you to show up on a through hike and have no food. And I didn't schedule the ride because you just assumed I'm taking you to the grocery store to spend God knows how many hours in there. Like, we could have worked out a time where you could have gotten off at REI at Sandy Springs and you could have gone to the Target or the wherever you want to go, and you could have spent your 2 hours, and I could pick you up 2 hours later when you're ready to go. I mean, there's ways to work around it. If you just give us the right information, we'll walk you through it. Like, we can work with you. It's just people assume we're going to do things. And that's when the little rub gets in there, and it's just like, hey, we didn't talk about this.
Yeah, definitely, dude. And I think that's where I go back. Well, we both have been talking about being prepared when you come 100%. Here, dude.
That's what I'm talking about right there. That's a great example.
Yep, it is, dude. It's an excellent example. And I think that
and show up with your shoes on that you're going to hike in. Do not show up in flip-flops, please. I've given shoes to 3 people on their hikes because they don't have shoes.
Yeah. Dude, there's the most absurd things that happen out here, man. Things you wouldn't even expect, and it's like, that happened, bro. That happened. Like, we both have millions of stories we could sit here and tell all day long, man. But we both need to do stuff and get moving here. But we're up to like 50.
I know. I didn't even realize we were talking
about we've been flapping.
And we were going to talk about a lot more stuff.
Yeah, but we're going to do. We need to sit down. Yes, dude, because I want to get back onto the prepared parts. The people coming here or sitting in the rooms and getting information from what we call armchair hikers.
Guys, you gotta
call the business.
You gotta
call the business.
Call the people that know what's up.
Don't
just assume that the people online are telling you the proper stuff.
They don't know. They're just, and so
I'm not saying you can't get some decent information off there. That's not what I'm saying.
No. But when
it comes to
business,
you're gonna get a lot more garbage off of that thing, in my opinion. And I'm not on social media. I call Facebook the cesspool of self-doubt.
It pretty
to be
much
honest with you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not. I know there's people out there who have done, tons of freaking hiking and tons of stuff, and we all do everything different. I carry a freaking chair now.
Yeah. A lot of people do, bro.
And people look at me like I'm crazy until about 30 minutes into that.
While you're sitting next to the fire.
When I was sitting to the fire, and they're looking at me like, "Oh, I wish I had your chair." I was like, "Yeah, I know."
I mean, dude, they got chairs that are less than a pound, bro.
Oh, I carry the REI one. That's the heaviest one.
Wait, how much is it? What is the weight on it?
1.8.
2 pounds?
Close.
How? 2 pounds to be comfortable?
I mean,
2 pounds to be comfortable?
I got the heavier one. When I hiked the Benton Trail, this old man tried to give me the rundown on all the chairs, and I was like, I sat and listened to him for an hour talk about my chair and how heavy it was. Dude, if you don't think I tried out all the chairs, I did. It's not that. This is the most comfortable chair.
This is the one I wanted,
this man. This is the one that worked for me. And
this is contoured to my butt cheeks.
I mean, it's like, so you get all that. Like, I'm not saying that Big Agnes chair, the Helix or whatever they're called. I'm not saying if you got it, go use it. I like the other one.
So. Yeah, definitely.
But it's funny the opinions that are out there.
Oh, of course, man. There's tons of them. There's always that dude that's talking about their best gear, man. Remember that woman, dude, over what was that big hump dude at the shelter, dude? Bro, this woman would not stop, dude. By morning time, bro, my friend Rising Sun lit a cigarette up, dude. And first of all, she was telling me that the fire, she didn't want to breathe the smoke in next to the fire that night. Yeah. And so then she started to tell me how to cook my sausage, bro, over the fire, because I went to town and got some sausages. And you know what I mean, dude? And so I'm sitting there, and dude, everything she said, and they would not stop talking about their REI gear. And so that morning, Rising Sun and I get up, dude, and she just started complaining again. And I went off on her. I was like, lady, I said, this is a community shelter. I said, I have been listening to you all day and night talk about your gear, how the smoke was bothering you, how I cooked my food too long. I was like, would you please kindly shut up, man? And so, dude, I took off, man. And
I got a quick one about that. There was the year before I did my through hike, I was coming into Fontana, and I got about to where the marina is.
Yeah.
And this old couple, I had heard them talking for about half a mile, and I was like, they were drunk. I mean, they had not shut up the whole time.
Right.
And I was like, I got to get by these people. I just can't take this. Yeah. And I flew by them, and I could still hear them talking. So I get into Fontana Shelter. They have a little shower. People that don't know, there's a shower. There's a shower at the
porcelain toilet,
and there's a shower up from the shelter. So I was literally, they were hiking into the shelter. I'm going out, and I'm barefoot. Mm-hmm. I have no camp shoes. That was one of the things I made sure I had after this.
Right.
But anyway, he started preaching to me about how nasty that shower was, and I didn't need to go in there in bare feet. Blah 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 blah. And I was like, hey, man, you worry about you, I'll worry about me. Mm-hmm. So I took the shower. He was right. It was pretty nasty.
Yeah, bro.
But this guy literally taught the whole time. And about 9 o'clock that night, he and his wife were still talking. And there's 20 people in this shelter, right? And I'm losing my mind. Like, I'm getting ready I'm on the verge of snapping. And this one dude goes, hey, did y'all hike together today? And this old man goes, oh, yeah, we were hiking, blah, blah, blah. He goes, good, shut up. And I was like, thank you for saying that. Like, I was getting ready to be that guy, but I didn't have to be. But, yeah, it was like, oh, my God, would you please be quiet?
That woman was the same way, bro. It was intense. But there's every shelter, dude. If
you are going to stay in a shelter,
and
you're going to whine and cry about the sound, the noise, the snorers, go pitch a tent.
Yeah.
Just go pitch a tent. Because anybody that says, well, if you snore, you shouldn't be in this shelter.
I know it, dude.
Trust me, the pads make more noise than anybody snoring.
Those ladies.
That's what I said to her.
That's
what I said.
Yes, that's what I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
I actually said that to her.
It is so crazy. It's so crazy to me, the amount of people that want to complain about somebody snoring. I was like, well, what about all these pads that are in here? Like, these pads are so loud.
Crinkling, everything.
It is
bro.
so crazy.
And so, man, I think that this has been a really good video,
I enjoyed
bro. It. And not only that, man, next time we get together, bro, I want to talk more about being prepared, dude.
We could talk 10 hours on this.
I know, dude, because there's so much to say, bro. It's like there's years worth of feelings and ideas and what we see out here going on, man. And it's like we can say a few things, but I don't think it actually touches on the entire picture, bro.
Well, I don't want people to take away that we're trying to be negative or anything. That's not not what we're trying to do. We're just trying to give you an idea of what it's like.
I think,
and what we're seeing, and you can take it how you want.
From people with experience, though.
100%. I'm not sitting here saying that I haven't made the same mistakes I'm sitting here telling everybody about. I certainly have.
That's right, dude.
It's there's a large learning curve.
There is, and
the more little hikes you can do, it helps you figure all those curves out. Mm-hmm. And to me, looking back on my hike, it was incredible and awesome. And I always tell people there's two beauties out here. There's the natural beauty on the trail. It's awesome. And then there's the people. And the people are just as beautiful as the trail.
The whole experience, bro.
And it is. It really is.
That's the magic, bro.
You talk about different things, but man, go hike. Just go hike.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Quit worrying about it and go hike. And by the way, hike to your car. Hike to your car. It is so much easier not to have to guess on when you're going to finish, and us playing phone tag and trying to figure out when you're going to finish, when you could park your car and set a time and get shuttled and then hike to your car.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It doesn't always work out that way, but if you can, that's the best way to do it. in my opinion.
I think
because I did it the other way. My first shuttle was the other way, and I sat at Dix Creek Gap. My wife and I did for 2.5 hours, and it wasn't because the shuttle guy was late. It's because we got there early, and so that was my first.
I think
lesson.
So with Mary and I, man, like we have numerous drivers, so
we're
able to be really flexible,
100%.
dude. And you know what I notice a little bit of, I think a lot of people bite off more than they can chew. Anyways.
Oh yeah,
Like I'll see people talking about, they'll be talking about doing.